Hey you guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to Lauren's Honest Reviews, where I review popular books and let you know if they're actually worth your time. Today's video is going to be the best and the worst of TikTok. I think we're on part 4, or Booktok, I should say. I feel like I read popular books in general, so I'm enjoying this theme on my channel. I did do an Emily Henry video in my last video, but let me know if you have any other book ideas. Maybe I'll mix it up a little bit, but otherwise, I don't know, I might just continue this Booktok theme. I'm having fun with it. So let me know down below. And again, reading is a subjective experience. I always like to put this disclaimer in my videos. If you don't agree with me, I would still love to hear your thoughts down below. We're all open to everybody's thoughts and opinions. Reading is subjective, you guys. I'm just letting you know my whole overall vibes and feelings when I'm reading a book. So all right, without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so the first book we're gonna talk about is Abby Gimenez, Say You'll Remember Me. This is Abby's newest release. And I couldn't wait to read this. I feel like everybody was talking about this all over TikTok. It was generally getting good reviews, but I will say I was put off by the synopsis. Everybody kept describing how these two meet in the book. Should I say it? All right, let me just tell you, just for context. So Samantha and Xavier meet because Samantha takes her kitten to the vet, who is Xavier, our male main character, because her cat is lacking a rectal opening. And when I heard people describing this, I just thought it was so cringy, this whole idea. I'm like, okay, come on, like this is gonna be so cheesy, this book. Am I gonna like this? You guys, I freaking love this book. This was so good. Oh my gosh, their connection, their relationship, the family dynamic. This is all about hope and Xavier and Samantha together. And the whole health situation with her cat wasn't the main focus of the book at all, and it's not in any way cringy. It is actually like portrayed very accurately by Abby, which I was very impressed. As a healthcare provider, I must say, I get turned off a lot by, like, Grey's Anatomy was one of my favorite shows in high school, but then when I went through nursing school, and now I've been a nurse for, oh my gosh, almost 19 years, I tend to steer away from health shows because I feel like I pick apart every little thing. But the way Abby detailed all the different health experiences and health diagnoses in this book, including Samantha's mother, I felt like she did such a good job about the background with these diagnoses and just backing everything up and making everything so accurate and pulling everything together. She did a great job with her research with this book. This book just felt adult, it felt mature. I love the connection between these two main characters. I love this. Such a good beach read. I flew through this in like 2 days. A great book. I gave this 5 stars. Another great beach read that I'm seeing all over TikTok is 3 Days in June by Anne Tyler. This is so short. It's a little over 160 pages. I flew through this. I read the physical copy. By the way, Say You'll Remember Me, I read that on my library's Kindle. You can rent out Kindles now, apparently, from your local library. How cool is that? But I just wanted to add that because I know people like to hear how you devour your books. So I think I literally read this in one sitting. So good. I loved the overall premise of this story. This plot was so good. I feel like it's a story that needs to be told. So this is the story of the mother of the bride and her experience over a course of 3 days at her daughter's wedding. But the way Gail navigates this whole experience is so fun. She's so like quirky, sarcastic, blunt. So all these like awkward interactions that we all experience at social settings, especially like a wedding. I mean, you're meeting so many acquaintances, long lost relatives, friends, just, you know, social things like this can be awkward at times. And I just loved how she made these situations lighthearted. She kind of cracked jokes here and there. She just put it out on the table, and Gail was hilarious in this. She wasn't mean by any means, but she just puts it out there. And I love this. This book was so relatable. It was so fun. Definitely a worthwhile read. I gave this 4 stars. I think just because I wanted it to be longer, to be honest. Like, I think I would have given it 5 stars if there was more to this, but it was a great beach read nonetheless. Just so good. Next up, we're going to talk about Summer Romance by Annabelle. I'm looking at this author's name. I think it's Monaghan. No, it's probably Monahan, actually. Annabelle Monahan. I'm seeing her recommendations all over TikTok, and I do want to read more of her books, but I'm already cringing with this because I know a lot of you guys aren't going to disagree with me on this. Summer Romance just was not my favorite. I think I had so many expectations for it. It just fell flat for me. I just didn't feel the connection between these two love interests, Allie and Ethan. There was just a disconnect for me, and I can't pinpoint what it is. I did love Allie as the main character. She's this kind of divorcee getting her groove back. So I loved hearing about her story. Me being a woman in her 40s, I'm relating to more mature characters these days. But I don't know, the romantic connection with Ethan just did not do it for me. He's very young at heart. He's an attorney that also skateboards on the side. Being a skateboarder, he brings the fun. He teaches Allie how to skateboard. So I don't know. I think it was that part of the book. It felt like predictable. Her writing was good. It definitely pulls you in. I enjoyed reading this. But you know what? I did end up finishing this on Audible? No, on my Libby. I listened to it on Libby. And for me, that is a true indicator whether or not I liked a book or not. I started to read the written copy and then I just wanted to power through it. So I listened to the end of it. I didn't love it. I gave it a 3-star on Goodreads. Let me know what other books by her that you enjoyed. I did like her writing, like at the beginning of the story, she really pulls you in. And I did enjoy reading this. Like I do feel like it's worth the read, but something about the romantic connection just didn't like come together in the end for me. Okay, next up, a book that I think is well worth the read is Kristen Hanna's The Four Winds. Wow, did I just devour this book? And this book is long, but I just did not want to put it down. I feel like with longer books, I tend to take my time with them, but this was a page turner for me. And when I tell you the synopsis, I feel like it sounds like a dry topic. This is the story of a family in the Great Depression that are farmers, and they're essentially trying to get their livelihood back. Their whole farming business is essentially ruined by the Dust Bowl. And I found this so intriguing. First of all, I learned so much about the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, to learn what farmers had to go through and the mistakes they learned along the way. Like, what was the one thing? Oh, about topsoil, because the dust blew away all the topsoil, and essentially these farmers were over plowing. They thought they were doing their crops a service by plowing all the weeds and everything on top away from the seeds, but essentially that was taking away all the ground cover and the soil was not staying wet enough. And for me, I'm a plant nerd at heart. I felt like those little details were so interesting. And the story of Elsa and her family, you have the female heroine in Elsa, and oh my gosh, her character was so just touching, and I really felt the connection with her. I loved Elsa so much. Oh my gosh, talk about women's empowerment. She was amazing in this story, and I could not get enough. But you talk about a book that surprised me. I honestly thought this book was gonna be such a bore, but the way Kristen Hanna pulls you in, wow, I don't know what magic she has in her writing, but it is just so immersive. She's amazing. I love this. I gave this 4.5 stars. I think only because I was comparing it to The Women, which I gave 5 stars. And speaking of comparisons, I think this book is the reason why Broken Country was such a fail for me. I expected so much more from that book, and I think because the plot lines were very similar, the comparison was there, and Broken Country just did not do it for me. If you want to hear my full review on that, you can watch a previous video, but yeah, nothing tops it. And I actually, believe it or not, want to read more books about the Great Depression. I never thought I would ever say that in my life, but this was so good. I love this so much. All right, next up is a book by Jojo Moyes. This is her newest release, We All Live Here. I did like this at the beginning of the story. It did pull you in. All the family drama, the family relationships, it was interesting. It kind of reminded me of a Full House episode. There was definitely some things that were similar there. You have the extended family that's living all together, the 2 teenage daughters, along with her stepfather, and then, don't you know, her long-lost father who was away in Hollywood comes back to live with them. And it's kind of, there's some funny moments. I definitely had a good time with certain parts of this book, but I ended up giving it 2 stars. It got to the point where there was plot holes. I'm like, why is the stepfather still here? He has a house down the street. Like, just go home if you're annoyed with this whole situation. Yeah, I just felt like they were all annoying each other without actually talking about their problems. I'm like, just put it on the table and tell them how you feel. Like, tell them to get out of your house. But it ended up being a heartwarming story in the end. It became a story about family and connection, and I did enjoy that. The overall message was a good story, but I just didn't have a good time reading this. I felt annoyed the whole time, and that's not the vibe I want when I read. So yeah, this was a fail for me. I gave this 2 stars. Right, next up is a book that I could not gush about more. I love this book so much. This is recommended all the time on TikTok, on every platform. Everybody's talking about this book, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere. Wow, the emotions that I had while reading this book, everything from the surprise element to the tension, the angst, the heartwarming element, the sadness, but also like the excitement, everything. The emotional ride you will have in reading the story is just the best ride ever. I will remember this book forever and ever. Now, I will say, this is Lauren's honest reviews. I will say there were some slower parts in this book for me, but it is still an easy 5-star read. The facts that I've learned from reading this book, the facts about space, it was so just engrossing. Like, that is the best word for it. Like, I could not stop reading this. So the beginning of the story opens with a bang. You have Joan Goodwin. She's a female astronaut. She's already having a tough time. She's in a man's world, but the role she plays is Capcom, which is the communication role. So she's talking through her fellow colleagues through this mission in space. And wow, if you are a fan of Apollo 13, Armageddon, all those like tense movies that are so suspenseful, but yet the emotions are there. And the love story, without spoiling anything, you're not really sure who Joan is in love with during this mission in space. So that is a big surprise. All the journey, her family journey, everything in this book. I loved the ending. Oh my God, the ending. So good. So worth a read. Easy 5-star. All right, the last thing he told me, this is a book by Laura Dave. This was a Reese's Book Club pick, and I love this. If you're into like a good, cozy mystery about a missing person, this was so good. So this is about Owen. He is the husband of, what was her name? Owen. He is the husband of Hannah. He actually leaves his wife this note, and it's just basically this like chase, the whole story of Hannah, the wife, and Owen's daughter, which is Hannah's stepdaughter, trying to find Owen throughout this book, and the twists and the turns in this book. And it was just so fun, like seeing all the pieces come together and trying to put the pieces all together. The ending was great. I love the locations they traveled to. It was a really fun book. So if you want a good cozy mystery for the summer, this is such a good one. 4 stars. All right, another cozy mystery that was a little bit of a disappointment was God of the Woods for me. So God of the Woods, I gave a 3.75 star. This is the story of a girl at a summer camp. Her name is Barbara. She's a young girl that goes missing. And the whole story, kind of similar to the last thing he told me. The premise of the story, they're trying to search for this person that's missing. And again, the way the pieces come together in this story was fun. It was definitely an engrossing story. You are really engaged the whole time. I found that even though the length of this book was very long, and at times I felt like it was a little too long, I was like ready for it to be wrapped up in the end, I still was engaged the whole entire time. So Liz Moore's writing in God of the Woods was so good. She really pulls in the reader. But I will say I gave it a 3.75 stars, only more so because of the ending. Again, it was a long book, but I was excited to read it every time I picked it up. But the ending was a little bit of a letdown. Like, there was all these different layers to the story, but the ending, although it was surprising, I was just kind of like, really? That's it? Like, all these pieces, I'm trying to like take my notes and put everything together, but I was a little let down by the ending. So let me know what your thoughts are on this book if you've read it. It's definitely a commitment. It's a long book, but it's worth the read, again, if you like a cozy mystery, but yeah, the ending was a little disappointing. All right, last but not least, a book that unfortunately I gave a 1 star to. This was a huge fail for me. I've never, I don't think ever given a book a 1 star on Goodreads. The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. Wow, was this a big flop. I admit, I wanted to read this because, first of all, it was $5 on Amazon. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is all about. I saw that there was Taylor Swift references, and well, I'm not like a huge Swiftie. I have 2 young girls, so obviously I hear her songs and I'm into them, but you know, I'm in my 40s now. I'm more into my like 70s, 80s yacht rock these days, but I can get down with some newer music. But even the Taylor Swift references that everybody talked about, I felt like, I mean, maybe I was missing them, but I didn't pick up on them. But my biggest issue with this book, this is supposed to be a summer romance book, but the major part of the plot, the whole conflict in this was about adults playing a water gun game. Like, the conflict was who was going to win this water gun game. I'm like, are they really going into the details about the rules and who's winning? I couldn't get into it, guys. I could not do it. I'm sorry. If you like this, I'm sorry. It just was very immature, and I'm not above a YA romance, but it has to feel a little bit adult. And if we're talking about a water gun game, I need a little bit more Claire and Whit. So when the 2 of them are having this, what could have been a spicier scene, they were licking a jelly donut off of each other's fingers. The author talks about people giggling in the background. And So it was just cheesy, very cheesy to me. I could not get into the water game thing. Who was the assassin? Who wasn't the assassin? I mean, if you're into competitive sports, maybe you would like this, but I am not a competitive person at all. So I could not get into the rules and the details of this water gun game that they were playing. And in Martha's Vineyard, like that sounds like my worst nightmare. I'm on vacation, I'm on a lawn chair, and somebody's spraying me with a water gun. Like, no, get off. Don't get me wet. So no, this was just not for me. I'm sorry. Not it for me. All right, guys, I think that does it for me today. Let me know what you guys are reading. Let me know if there's been any big fails for you that you've read recently and any favorites. Of course, we want to know your 5-star reads, your 4-star reads, even the 3-star reads. I mean, I think a lot of my 3-star reads, I do think are worth reading, like that Annabelle Monaghan book. I do think is worth the read. It just, I don't know, it fell a little flat for me. So again, let me know what you guys have been reading recently. And if you're not already following me on TikTok, I'd love to have you there. I've been posting there more recently. I still have my Instagram, but it still has my old beauty content on there. I'm like debating on putting some of my book content on Instagram. So I want to know from you guys, are you more TikTokers? Or are you more on Instagram? Because I can do both. I can just like repost my reels on both of those platforms if you'd like. So let me know. And thanks for being here. And thanks for commenting on my videos. That always helps. And just thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.